How's it going, you guys? Up early, about to hit a max squat and deadlift session for the second day in the row. I'm doing squat and deadlift every day right now. Uh, and then I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Real quick, I wanted to talk a little bit about anxiety. I wanted to kind of like share probably the most powerful method of eliminating all anxiety that you possibly can engage. Now, this method is the one thing most people will not do. And it's the one reason why people suffer from prolonged anxiety disorders for a very long period of time. Now, obviously, there's a physical component to it. It's mostly neurotransmitter imbalance because people are not eating adequate precursor vitamins, minerals, and amino acids to actually produce these neurotransmitters on their own. Dopamine, acetylcholine, serotonin, endorphins, etc. I've mentioned in many videos how you can accomplish neurotransmitter health and balance through nutritional means and supplementation if it's severe. But 99.9% of people are not going to get better on medications or on nutritional protocols. They're not going to relieve their anxiety completely. The reason why is because the number one cause of anxiety is attachment to outcome. People are they're so attached to the outcome of stressful situations that they panic in anticipation of something bad happening. So, look, really reflect on this. Anxiety is simply caused by fear of something bad happening in the future. And it's this anticipation of something bad happening that gives you the feelings of anxiety. If you disagree, chances are you haven't really reflected on anxiety very much, okay? You haven't really taken the time to think about it and meditate on it and really reflect and contemplate it. But it's that attachment to the outcome that causes feelings of anxiety. And so anything and everything you can do to remove the attachment to outcome is going to help. Now, some people, they practice being present to the moment or mindfulness. And what that will do is get you focused entirely on what's happening right now in your environment. And you won't be focusing on the future anymore. That is one of the most shared methods of alleviating anxiety. Of course, the problem with that is, number one, it doesn't address the mindset that's causing it. And number two, it's very hard for people with anxiety to just be present to the moment, man. So you have to shift your mindset. You have to, there's many different ways of developing, really replacing your mindset, replacing the anxiety mindset with the relaxation mindset. One thing a lot of people do is they convince themselves that everything's going to be okay, just have faith in the universe, okay? And that's, for some people a little too woo-woo, wishy-washy, spiritual. A lot of people feel like, oh, it's just not realistic. But is spending every single day of your life fearing and being anxious and stressed out and scared of what's going to happen to you, scared you're going to lose your house, you're going to be late to work, your boss is going to fire you, the people in the social circle won't like you, you're afraid you're going to say something stupid, the social anxiety, etc. Being scared of bad things happening, feeling anxious. Is that realistic? No, it's not. It's not. What benefit does it serve? Zero. It only harms you and harms your success in life, and at the very least makes you feel like crap. So anxiety is not realistic. Having faith in the universe is going to be just as realistic as feeling anxious and feeling terrible all the time. There's really, they're both pretty much the same amount of realism, whatever, but having faith in the universe or whatever, like just convincing yourself or deluding yourself that everything's going to be okay no matter what, is going to produce better results than fearing for the worst. But there's better ways. For me, what I believe is the best option is finding confidence. And what is confidence? Confidence is a deep inner knowing that you have the skills and ability to achieve what it is you set out to achieve. Okay, so there's fake confidence, and then there's real confidence. Real confidence comes from practicing the skills over and over again that you know produces good results. That's what real confidence actually is. It comes through practice and action. It does not come through, oh, I gotta be confident. I am a confident person, and affirming things over and over again without the actual experience. And so you've got to have faith in your ability to persevere through whatever negative outcome might come from the future. And so, for example, social anxiety. Most people have social anxiety because they're not confident in their social skills. And the antidote to that is reading books about social skills. How about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Andrew Carnegie, or was it Stephen Covey? Read those books. Watch videos about it. Really learn better social skills if you have social anxiety. And also learn about how other people's minds work. Realize that most people, they're so focused on themselves that they don't have time or energy to focus on other people. And when other people judge you, that has nothing to do with you. They're judging you from projection. They're projecting their own feelings of their own life onto you. And any kind of judgment they make on you is relative to something they've experienced in the past. It's a projection of their previous memories and experiences. And when you realize that, it removes the attachment to other people's feelings of you. You're like, oh shit, like, it's all good, they hate me, but damn, they're mad dogging everyone else. They must have the problem, it's not me. Thinking rationally about the situation and really truly seeking empathy and understanding of other people and of situations is another method of not only becoming more aware of reality and how reality works, but also removing attachment to outcome. For example, like, oh no, I'm going to be late to work today, like, damn, I don't want to get fired. And then the stream of anxious thoughts comes along. Oh, I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my girl. My wife is going to hate me. My kids, I have mouths to feed, blah, 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 which usually fuels a lot of anger in people. I got mouths to feed. God damn it. You can't fire me. Shut up. No one owes you anything. But, understanding that, look, the fact is there is an abundance of jobs here. And most people have limiting beliefs around that, so it doesn't allow them relief. It's just more stress. But when you recognize the fact that we have Indeed.com and many online outlets where, for me, anytime I need a job, within 3 days, I'm hired because I am very, is it vigilant is the word? Vigilant, very vigilant, and persistent, and I'm constantly filling out applications on Indeed.com till I get that job. I know that even if I lose my job, it's nothing to be stressed about. It's nothing to be anxious about, because I can always get another one. I can fill out applications and I'm bound to get another job. Even if it's not paying as much as my previous job, I will be able to survive. Because the worst possible outcome is you're out on the streets and you have nothing. And that's what you want to prevent. Apartments, you can get you could survive, get an apartment and everything. I don't know where you guys live, but if you are living in an area, if you picked your home properly, you live in a good city and whatnot, you can get an apartment for, where I live, $900, where, like, for me, like, good quality living and everything. And you could have a job that pays even $10 an hour, and if you're working full-time, make enough for food and things like that, as long as you don't have a stupid car payment. A lot of people just don't know how to manage their finances, but Anyway, detachment from outcome, seeking understanding about your situation, and thinking about solutions rather than dreading for the worst and thinking about your problems. That's what most people do. They dwell in the problem. They're like, oh God, if I walk in HEB, like, all these people, like, oh no, I don't do good around people. These people are fool. They're fools and they're just running into things. At the grocery store, I'm trying to get groceries and people are just always in my way. This is a very common social anxiety kind of thought loop. It's like, oh, all these people, they're gonna judge me, always in the way. You got to pay attention to your self-talk. If you're constantly talking about all the negative things that cause you anxiety, when you think about anxious things, you are bringing up anxious emotions and you're feeling more anxiety. And you're literally just living in a state of anxiety all the time. And instead of that, think rationally, because it's not very rational to think, oh no, the grocery store, people are always in my way. They're judging me, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't matter. You're not there to care about other people. You're there to buy groceries. Someone's in your way, either go around them or ask them to move. And the thing is, this example is very specific because I've known many people who have this problem and then they just freak out with panic attacks at the checkout line. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to find ways to detach yourself from those other people you're anxious about. And again, there's faith in the universe, there's law of attraction, there's thinking rationally, there's trying to understand the situation. If it triggers you to think like, oh, I'm not there to care about other people, I'm there to buy groceries, and you're like, oh no, but blah, 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 you have some kind of excuse, then you're not a rational person, and you should go the other route and start to try to believe like, oh, it's okay, this person is gonna judge me and stuff, and whatever. Find a way to detach yourself from outcome. That's the key. Detachment from outcome. Focus on the things that you have power over that are going to bring you closer to your goals. Focus on empowerment rather than disempowerment. Anyway, I got to get to my workout. Talk to you guys later. Leave your questions, comments down below.